Legends, welcome back to the channel. Right, if you remember last time in the video, we had identified loads of stuff that was no good and broken and totally knackered on the Audi TT. We've ordered some parts. Everything that's got a red, flame red Nissan Micro blodge on, this bit, this bit, this bit, this bit, this bit, this bit, has now been ordered. How much has it cost so far? Well, this bit and this bit and this bit, 12 quid. This bit here, a genuine Audi part, 25 quid. This bit here, another genuine Audi part, 25 quid. This bit here, if I wanted to replace this, is a whopping £150, this pipe here. We're going to repair that. It's only cracked at that end. We're going to try and repair that. That's a servo pipe. So far, what have we spent? 60 quid? 60 quid to replace those bits. We're going to have a cup of tea and then check the other bits, spark plugs, air filter, and see what other bits and pieces we need. But fingers crossed, so far, the parts for this system we've managed to find. And they've not been as extortionate, really, as I expected. So we shall find out in just a minute. And in this video, we're going to carry on with the car. We're going to keep stripping it down, keep having a look, seeing what sort of things we might need to address. We're going to look at the spark plugs. We're going to look at the air filter. We're going to look at hoses to and from the turbo. And also check out the catch can boost system diverter valve that somebody has fitted. It's going to be another long one. Fingers crossed, I'm genuinely hoping we don't find any other major issues. The parts are on order, as I've just said. We're waiting for them to arrive. But we are really giving this car a blooming good going over. Whilst Dad's getting towards the turbo, I've taken the air filter out. And you can see it's in not the best condition. So I've just bought another one. This is a man filter. £8.99 off eBay, brand new with free postage. Another pipe we have found that is split, which is the turbo pipe, which is probably explaining why she's whistling. Dad's going to take the pipe off and then we can have a good old look at what the issue is.
Turbo pipe split, that is.
Well, there we go. The turbo pipe is absolutely knackered. It's split right at the bottom, which I was hoping not that was the case, because a genuine Audi one is like 200 quid. That's why people replace them with silicone ones. That's why people uprate them. What have you found?
Turbos.
How? How do we know?
See that there?
Yeah.
That's the play in the fairings.
Okay. How broken is that? Oh dear. We have found some more holes in the turbo intake pipe here. There's a great big hole there. It's all no good at the bottom here, as you can see. There is a little bit of play in the turbo, as Dad has just quite rightly said. We've had a look at it. We've got two options now. We can put a new turbo in it, which is not going to happen. We could fit a new impeller, which again is not going to happen. It's us and Dad in his shed. We're going to just leave it. We're going to leave it alone. It's not hurting anything. It's not too bad. So we shall see. But I've just ordered a new silicone turbo hose. It's cost me 80 odd quid. Dad's now checking the spark plugs. There's a bit of oil in the bores. But we shall check the plug gaps. And now we are looking at the spark plugs. Some good news. Spark plugs are okay and the gaps are okay. So no major issues there. We've discovered a small leak in a servo pipe. We thought we'd got some shrink tube to fit, but I think we've not got some shrink tube to fit.
I'm going to finish it. That phone's stuffed up your bottom. Oh.
Oh dear. Maybe it's not as easy as I fix as we thought. So the weeniest split on this hose, we've just fixed with some shrink tube. It was very similar to this. The majority of it was covered with a valve. It's just to stop any potential leaks in the future. So we've started to put bits back on the car now. This pipe here is back on. This pipe here is on. That is to the brake servo that had a split in it. We could see that we've repaired it with shrink tube. The pipe is back in and it comes down to here, and then the rest of the PCV pipe work is here. We are waiting now on a brand new turbo inlet pipe. We've ordered a new one of those. I've ordered a silicon one. That needs to go back together. Then we need to wait for these bits to arrive to replace these bits in red. But we've had enough for the day. It has been a busy old day of it, and Dad, bless him, has been working quite hard on this all day. So he's going to go in. I'm going to go home, see the inspector. We're in a state of dismantling. I'm a bit disheartened with the car tonight, as is Dad. But tomorrow is another day, and when we get our bits and pieces, we'll start putting it back together. We are pretty confident that there's no more hose leaks, air leaks. We're not 100% certain. We won't know until we get it all back together. This is clearly going to be causing us a problem, and all these ones that we've identified. Worst case scenario is that the turbo is well and truly shot, and that's not something that we're going to be doing in the garage. I can't expect Dad to do that.
Anybody want to buy an Audi TT?
Anyone want to buy an Audi TT? It might be a case of that I put it up for sale after we get it all working, or I enjoy it, I use it for what it is, and we go from there. So next update will be another day. Well, after a brief interlude of a couple of days off since we last had a look at the car, Dad's been doing a little bit of work, and you'll see that Dad's been doing a little bit of work because, oh my goodness, he's got the front bumper off. Why has he got the front bumper off is the question. Well, whilst we're checking all the hoses and bits and pieces in here and replacing it, I said to Dad a couple of days later, in fact yesterday, I said, have we checked the pipes to the intercooler, to the radiator? And he said, no, actually, I haven't. They look good, but the way to tell is to take the front bumper off. So we've taken the front bumper off. We're looking at the pipes here. All the pipes to the intercooler look fine, no splits. They've actually been replaced at some point in its life. The pipe here to the charge pipe is looking good. That's a genuine Audi part. Looks like it's been replaced. And we've got the front bumper off, and we found a few more problems. Nothing major, to be honest with you. We've got a wire here that is clearly split. It goes into this pipe here. That is an electrical wire that feeds a water pump, which puts water into the system to cool the turbo after use. It's frayed, and rather than cut, it's not been working for a very, very long time. While we're here, obviously, we're going to reinstate that electrical cable. But no major issues under here. This crash bar is looking quite good. The intercooler is fine. The radiator is fine. The bumper, obviously, as you can see, is off. It's not a major issue to take one of these off. I didn't quite realise. You can see these are the aliens. Here, these are they're called aliens, but they're washer, headlight washer jets that pop up. They're working fine. We've tested that system. Dad's put a connector in the end there. And you can see there's some paint residue on this sort of mud flap underneath there. That is evidence that the car has been painted at some point in its life. But yeah, so far, no other major issues found. it's a case of where do you stop with this one, isn't it? There's water in this battery holder because we've got a water pipe off. There is oil everywhere under this bonnet, and that's going to be because it's been chucking oil out everywhere because the PCV valve, which is in here, is no good. It's absolutely knackered and all these pipes are split. What's the plan? Well, I could spend a little bit of money throwing it at the car, getting it nice, getting it perfect. The turbo issue, I've had a little bit of a soul search with regards to that. I'm not sure it's necessarily an issue as opposed to just normal wear and tear. I've spoken to a couple of Audi experts. They've said that wear and play in there is not abnormal. It's not ideal, obviously, but it's not going to cause major issues to the car in the future. And it is 140,000 miles. The car is done, and clearly it's been serviced, i.e. oil and filter, air filter. Well, I'll say that about the air filter. It hasn't had one for a little while, if you can remember. We looked at that one. But mechanically, it needs some TLC. Underneath, the car is fantastic. It really is good. It's been looked after cosmetically under here, and it's had multiple resprays and rebuilds and love and attention cosmetically. The interior is like new. You know, the interior is really good, and it's not helped with that really harsh light I've just shined in there. But mechanically, which is where you want to be right, it needed some TLC. What have I spent so far? I've ordered a new turbo intake pipe, silicon. It's from a website called Gravity Performance. It's cost me nearly 100 quid. The other parts and bits and pieces, the PCV kit has cost me 60 quid. And there's going to be sensors and bits and pieces on the way that I need to test. This is the N75 valve, which is something we need to check and test. That could be causing me some problems. They're relatively cheap to fix. They're about 20 quid for a valve. So that's potentially something we're going to be doing. We need to test that at some point. That'll be done soon. Headlights are fine. I'll give them a good old clean while they're out. And then it's a case of just putting it back together and seeing how we go. There was a braking issue, i.e. that the brake pedal travelled so much further than it needed to travel. I think that these repairs that we've done to the servo cable will certainly solve that problem or make the braking much better. At the moment, I'm a lot more optimistic than I was a couple of days ago. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work for Dad. He's not necessarily enjoying this process. He doesn't really like working on German cars. He doesn't really like working on Audi TTs. But it's the sort of thing that we need to do. We're this far into it now, aren't we? We are, you know, elbow deep in drama. So we've got to fix it. Yeah, that is the update today on, on the TT. If you've enjoyed the video, let me know. There'll be obviously more to come. We'll start putting it back together, getting it fixed and getting it back on the road. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Please give it a thumbs up. Please give it a subscribe if you haven't already done so. And there'll be more, as I say, on the channel in the next few weeks. Have a great day, whatever you're getting up to. Take care and goodbye.